Good afternoon, and welcome to Applied Management Research. Today, we will discuss the topic of research as it pertains to the elements of writing a research paper. Research is a systematic search for an answer to a question or a solution to a problem. You can use the arbitrary method or the scientific method, but we will only be discussing the scientific method because of its objectivity and precision. The characteristics of a great research paper are that it is a systematic investigation. It describes, interprets, or explains a phenomenon. It adopts the scientific method. It is objective and logical. It is based on observable or empirical evidence. It develops generalizations, principles, or theories. It can discover new facts. It can verify or test existing facts. It can provide causal explanations, and it stands the test of criticism. A research design is a logical and systematic plan prepared for directing a research study. It specifies the objectives of the study and the methodology and techniques to be adopted for achieving the objectives. It constitutes the blueprint for the collection, measurement, and analysis of data. It is the plan, structure, and strategy of investigation conceived so as to obtain answers to research questions. Though extensive planning is necessary, be prepared for plans to change based on the availability of resources, costs, time, findings, and a host of other independent variables. It is important to make the distinction between qualitative and quantitative methods of data collection and analysis. Using both methods gives breadth and depth to your research. Qualitative data is text-based versus quantitative is number-based. It is more subjective, where quantitative is objective. It is an inductive process because you're asking questions versus a deductive process where you're analyzing to come to a conclusion. Qualitative methods help form a theory or hypothesis, whereas quantitative methods test a theory or hypothesis. It is behavior-based rather than relationship-based and uses focus groups and surveys versus statistical analysis. Lastly, qualitative data is more in-depth on a limited subject, where quantitative data is less in-depth but casts a much wider net. Statistical analysis is important in your research paper for analyzing data in depth and examining relationships from various angles. There are many measures to use, but we'll highlight the two measures used for our research paper example in the next section. The first is correlation, which is a graphic portrayal of the relationship of one set of data to another. It is important to note that correlation is not causation. Just because two sets of data have a relationship does not mean one is a direct cause of the other one. You can calculate the correlation coefficient of two sets of data using Excel, and you can also graph it out using a scatter plot. A box and whisker plot is a graph or picture of a 5-number summary, which is the 5 most important percentiles in the distribution of a data set. It portrays the sample minimum, which is the smallest data point, the lower quartile or 25th percentile, the upper quartile or 75th percentile, the median, which is the middle of all data points, and the sample maximum, which is the largest data point. A research report is a formal statement of the research process and its results. It should communicate the hypothesis or problem statement, the methods used to research and quantify the data itself, ideally presented in tables or charts, your conclusions based on your research, and your projections for the future. When planning your paper, consider the following questions. Who is your target audience? What is their knowledge level? What is the purpose of the report? What type of report is it? What is the scope? What style should it be written in? What format should be used? Once you've determined the answers, begin the process by making an outline or table of contents. In our next presentation, we will delve into our research paper example. Till then, Thank you for your time.